Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out to join the webinar today. But before we do that, I just want to cover a few things with you. First and foremost, my name's Barrett Johannesson, and I'll be the host for today's webinar. We have Penny from our Hong Kong office who will actually be presenting on the iFormBuilder Customer Solution Showcase and is focusing on JavaScript. Penny, if we can go to the next slide. So we have some upcoming iFormBuilder events that I just want to mention to you. The first is our iFormBuilder certification. So this is happening throughout the year that we are having these certification courses. And if you're someone who's in Australia or over in that side of the world, we do have time zones or time periods for the certification that fit your need, but we also have them. We also deliver on-site certification, and we're happy to schedule a separate company-wide certification if that's something you're looking for as well. So these have been really valuable to larger organizations, but also the smaller entrepreneurs who really want to specialize their skills in form building and become an expert and have confidence in knowing that they're using best practices. The other event that I want to mention to you is our iFormBuilder Power User Summit. Now, some of you who are on the other side of the world, like Penny, actually, Penny's coming over to join, so if Penny's a bad example for this, but if you're on the other side of the world and you can't fly over to join us in Virginia for our Power User Summit, we do record those sessions, and I strongly urge you to follow up with us because those presentations at the Power User Summit are extremely valuable to see what companies are doing with iFormBuilder and the next direction of Zerion software. Now, the next slide is actually a really important slide because it's talking about today's presenter, Penny. And so, Penny, at this point, what I'd like to do is if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and what you do on the other side of the world, and I'll hand over the reins to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Barrett. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this webinar. I'm today's presenter, Penny. Just so you know, I'm based out of Hong Kong. I'm a solutions engineer, and I also work as a customer support representative in my time zone. So if you email to our help desk or drop by the live chat on our website when the US team is off, there's a good chance you will meet me. And today I chose JavaScript as my topic for this webinar because this is one of the most frequently asked questions when I talk to customers. And this is also one of the greatest differentiators that makes iFormBuilder distinguished from other products. It adds to the flexibility of our product a great deal. So today I'm going to give you a tour about using simple JavaScript in iFormBuilder. I'll try my best to make it easier for you to understand. If you are an IT person, or if you're not an IT person but know a bit about the logic of programming, I'm pretty sure you'll find this very easy. And if you're totally new to programming, don't worry, we're not teaching you how to program. Rather, we'll try to wrap up something for you to use directly. All right, let's get started then. First, I'd like to go through some of the frequently used JavaScript functions. Most of them are based on numbers and strings. And I'm not going to talk about anything beyond that. The reason is in iFormBuilder, almost every output, no matter what input type you use, pick list, or date or location, or even barcode scanning, you can always find a way to convert them to a number or a text. So the idea here is try to convert your input into a text or a number, and use the functions I'm going to teach you today to move them around, split them, or combine them, whatever you like, and get the outcome you want. And as you can see on the slides, I listed a few methods you probably will want to use. And before I go further to elaborate them, I'd like to point you to a website where I get this information from. So this is the website I talked about, and it's called W3 Schools. This website is a web developer information website with tutorials relating to JavaScript and some other stuff. I like this website because it's very comprehensive and its layout is very clear and neat, and it's pretty easy for you to find what you want from the content on the left side. You don't have to go through all of these. I like you to only pay attention to here: strings, string methods, numbers, number methods, math, and probably date, because these are what we are going to cover today. Let's start with string then. As you may know, strings are texts. And in iFormBuilder, we have many input types that are text-based. The easiest ones like text widget and text area widget. And going further, pick list, select, multi-select, date, counter, location. These widgets also output text, which means you can also use the methods on those widgets. And let's have a look at what kinds of methods they have here. So for strings, the very basic one, length. Obviously, this is for getting how many characters there are in the string. And you can use it in iFormBuilder like this. Let's say if you have a field with a column name, data column name, field 1, and then you use this method like this. That's it. You can put this statement in the dynamic value of a number field, and it will output how many characters there are in field 1. And then scrolling down, they have index of.
Penny, before
This
you go
method
any
is for
further,
you to look up a specified text.
Penny, can I interrupt you very quickly? Sorry. The one question we have here is for the dot length. Can you also use that to set up a statement to not have an additional question show until the person puts in a certain amount of values in a text field?
Sorry, Barrett, is this a question from the customer?
Yeah, it's just a question that I have up here. It's just, the question is really, can you use dot length so to create a statement so that text isn't appearing until a certain amount of characters were placed in the form?
So you need to use this after you enter full text in field 1. So this statement will be in a separate field. So field 1 is the first field where you enter those texts, and you will need to have a separate field, like a number field, to where you put this statement in. And after you enter the full text in field 1, it will display the outcome of this statement in the second field. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. I don't want to interrupt your show any longer, Penny. I'll hand it over to you again.
Okay. Thank you, Barry. All right, then we will go on from here. Then next, we have index of here. So this method is for you to look up some text in a string, and then it will return the position of it. Likewise, you can use this like this. Let's say you have a field named field 2, and you do this, index of, and in the parentheses you have the text you need to look up. Let's say penny. So this statement will look up penny in field 2 and return the index of it. And scrolling down, we have search. This is for searching a string. In searches a string for a specified value and returns the position of the match. And slice and substring, all kinds of stuff. Replace and converting to upper and lower case. This should be pretty straightforward. Concat and char add. Well, this char add method is for getting a character at a specified position in the string, and you can use it like this. For example, you have a field called field 3, and you do this char add. Let's put 0 here. So this statement is for you to look up the for you to return the first character of the string, and to 1 will be the second character, and so on. So let's see what they have. Here there is a split. So this is a very popular method, and we've been using it a lot. You can use this to separate a string into an array based on a specified separator, like comma or space, and to get each element of the array. I'll show you a few examples about this method later. So we'll move on to other stuff here. And these are pretty much for the strings, the methods for strings. And for number type of data, we have two string method. So this can help you convert a number to a string. And to fixed, if you want to keep a specified number of decimals, you can use this one. And they have others. I leave these for yourself to explore. It will take forever to go through them one by one. And next, we can have a look at the math. For example, this method random method. This is a very popular one as well. For example, you can use this method to generate a random ID, which many of our customers have been using. And I'll show you an example of that as well later. And method minimum and method maximum, and these can be used to find the lowest or the highest value in a list of numbers. And if you're interested, you can go through this website and see if there's anything helpful to you. Basically, all of these methods can work on iFormBuilder. And here, I'm not going through all of them. And let's go back to the slides here. So next, I'd like to show you how to use these methods flexibly by presenting some examples. So I created a few samples in the forms, and if you're interested, you can send an email to me or Barrett after the webinar and ask us for a package of these forms, and then we'll send them to you.
Actually,
right,
also,
let me grab my iPad here.
Oops, I also just want to take this time to mention that you can send us an email, but we'll also be posting a public link for you to use to import the form package into your own account. So we'll be sending that link through the email that we send you with the recording, but also on the webpage. So Penny, while you're doing that, there's been a lot of great questions coming in. People are really excited to see some of these examples that you have. When you're presenting or when you're sharing these examples, if you could give us the real scenario where customers have had that need, that would be great, just to have it seem a little bit a little bit clearer to some folks who are brand new to iFormBuilder and are just trying to imagine all of the power behind it?
Okay, yeah, sure. Um, okay, so well, the idea here is to inspire you to think about if there's anywhere you want to use method to improve your form. So I can't guarantee you that you will find these examples very useful in your forms. But at the last part of this webinar, I'm gonna show you a real case that I built for a customer, and I hope you'll find that one helpful.
The only thing I was going to say is that for this multi-select, what I've
Mm-hmm.
heard is that people have wanted to do some sort of calculation, and I guess they've divided it with how many options were selected with another number, and that's how they do a calculation. But I think you're right in just mentioning that these examples are great to hopefully give people inspiration to see how they can use it in their custom workflow.
All right. Then I'll start showing you this example. So here I have a multi-select with 5 options, and if I select all of them, you will see that oops, there seems to be a little bit delay here. Oops. Okay, it works. So you'll see that there are 5 options, 5, the count 5 field. Then if I deselect some of them, the count will show accordingly. Now, to achieve that, let's go back to the back end of this form. You need to first use a ZC display value method to parse the multi-select value into a hidden text field. And then you can use a combination of the split and the length methods to separate the options into an array and then get the length of the array. In my example, I added an if control to make the outcome look neater. It depends on your real needs here. As I said, you probably won't find this example very practical, but I hope it will give you an idea and make you think about if there's anywhere you can use them. Then I'll go to the second example. So this should be a pretty useful one because I've seen so many customers who have been using this. For example, you want to create random order IDs for each order you received, and the format of the ID needs to be a 5-digit number with a prefix. In my example, the prefix is a letter E, or it can be anything. So here I used a toggle just for better effect. You can remove this and let the form create the ID as soon as you open the record. So, all right. So yeah, if you tick the toggle here, it will generate a 5-digit random ID every time. And let's go have a look how this was achieved. In the dynamic value, you can see that I used the method random. Since this method will only return a random number between 0 and 1, you can manipulate it by multiplying the number by 10,000 to get a 5-digit number, and then use the to-precision method to trim this number into a 5-digit one, and then at the same time convert it to a string. This is what this method does. And lastly, add a prefix E to this statement. this is pretty much how it is set up. And you will be able to generate any kind of strings by using this method random.
So
and
Penny,
I hope this makes sense to you. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a question. It says, can you use this random ID to look up information from the same form? This way, the random ID could refer to a unique row in the form, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the answer is yes, that you can use this to look up information from the same form.
Yeah. Basically, well, I would say nothing is impossible in JavaScript because it's super flexible. If you're interested, you can talk to me after this webinar anytime. Right. Then I move to the third one then. So here we have the third example. It's a similar one, but it's done in a different way. This is a validation. So in your company, you probably have IDs that follow a certain pattern, and if the user enters invalid ID, you don't want him to be able to submit this record. I'll give it a try here. So the validation here is the ID needs to be 6-digit number and must begin with that letter C. Try one with letter D. D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 6 digits. So this won't let me through. Yeah, it won't let me through. And I'll try C. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 digits, so this shouldn't work either. And I'll try to add one more digit to it. This should work here. And it let me through. So
Hey Penny,
this is how it looks like.
Penny, the screen that we're looking at right now
Yep.
still says D12345.
Oh, okay. How about now? Seems like the iPad, the connection on my iPad isn't very ideal. Can you see it now?
Now we can see it. Yep, so we can see how it went through this time. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay. This is pretty much for this example. And next, I'll go to the fourth one. So this one, yeah. So this one is for changing date format. The date by default in iFormBuilder will be displayed as day, month, year, and some people may want month, day, year. And to achieve this, you can use split. You can use split. 1 second. Yeah, so you can use split method to separate the date into different parts and then put them back together in a different order. And the output on the device will be like this. If I have already selected a date here, so if I take this toggle, it will convert the date to month, day, year in a different way. And I hope this will be helpful as well. These are the 4 simple examples I will show you. As I said, you probably won't find this very useful or practical, but I hope it will shed some light on building your own solutions.
So Penny,
if you have any,
I think people are definitely seeing where this can be helpful for their solution and seeing how they can start using it. There's 2 questions, one for example 3 and one for example 4. For example,
Sure.
4, they're wondering, do you have to have the toggle in there to have it convert the date, or could you set it up to automatically convert the date?
Yes, you definitely can. I use this toggle just for showing a better effect. You can definitely set this up as converting the date automatically. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And then the other is someone was wondering if you could go back to example 3 and show how you did that
Sure.
function.
Oh, oh yeah, of course. Sorry, I missed that one. Sorry. Yeah, definitely. So here, this used client validation. Basically, you need a chart add method to get the first character of this ID and check if it equals to C. And then you need to use the length method to get how many characters there are in this ID and check if it equals to 7. This should be this should sound pretty simple to you, I hope.
Yes, Penny, thank you for showing that to us.
Yeah, all right. I hope this answered his or her question. Let's go to the next part of the webinar. So I have also attached all the scripts I used in the examples in the slides. You can refer back to them anytime you like. Then next, I'd like to talk about a real case I built for a customer in the past. And this is a real solution about a year ago, and it was paid work. And this one may sound more technical to you. If you are interested, feel free to ask us for the form packages so you can use it directly. Some of you may have noticed that the name of the solution is scoring for a multi-select. Some of you may have noticed that in our knowledge base, we have solution for scoring pick list or select field. This is the article I was talking about. But this one only applies for single option widget. And what if you want to score multi-select widget? And today I'm going to show you how to do that. So to achieve that, we need to use the split function again. And this solution is set up in the page level. It's more advanced. If it doesn't make sense to you, you can just use this solution directly. You won't need to adjust this script too much. And if you have questions on this one, you can always reach out to me. All right, so here, let me first show you how it looks like eventually on the form, so you can get an idea. All right, let's say we have a multi-select with 5 options again, and we will give each option a score. So for option 1, we give it a score 1, and 2 to option 2, 3 to option 3, and so on. And if I select all of the options, so it will add up all the scores and get the result of 15. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. If I deselect some of them, the score will change accordingly. This looks pretty cool, isn't it? So now let me show you how to achieve this from the backend. I have two options. I have two functions I define in the page level. The first one I got from the documentation in our knowledge base directly. It's pretty much the same. And based on that, I created another function. In the second function, I have two parameters. First, the length of the multi-select, which also means how many options are checked. And the second one is the option values. Basically, I use the split method to separate each option apart and use a for loop, to get the score of each option and then add them up. Then in the dynamic value, I just need to call the score function and pass real values to the parameters. This is pretty much how this solution is set up. Here I simplify the scenario to only one multi-select, but you can add as many multi-select as you want. For example, if you have a survey or questionnaire, and each question is a multi-select field, and you can use this solution. You can sum the score for each question to get the total score. And I really hope you will find this helpful.
So Penny, we do have a question. It's getting a little bit more advanced here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so this person asks, can this score be used as a prefix to the random number if you had the random number in the next element?
So I'm not sure if I get his question very well. I guess I need to know if you want to use this score in the ID. You want to add the score into the ID or something?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, of course. As I said, nothing is impossible here with JavaScript. So definitely it is possible.
Great. Thank you so much, Penny.
Okay. So I go back to the slides here. I don't have the script for this solution, but we have attached this form package at the bottom, so somewhere. So please find them after this webinar and have a play around. Just short recap, we have gone through some of the available methods you can use in iFormBuilder, and I've showed you a couple of examples how you can use them in real case. And the last one is a real customer solution. And these are pretty much all I want to present in this webinar. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please feel free to let me know.
So Penny, we do have a question, and it actually may be covered in the next slide. If you just go to slide 14, it asks, is there a runtime debugging tool to monitor code as it executes? Now, I don't know if there's one that monitors while it executes, but we do have a tool listed here, JFiddle, which would allow you, or JSFiddle, which would allow you to put in your JavaScript statement to make sure that it's formatted and working correctly. Maybe not so much as a runtime debugging, but definitely something that could assist with figuring out where the problems may be arising. Do you have another response or another answer to that question, Penny?
So you have, in iFormBuilder, you won't be able to debug directly. So yeah, I would recommend you to look for some other external debugging tools for that. Yes.
it's really exciting too. For those of you who are aware, we do have a new form builder that will be coming out and then coming out in 2016. And one thing that it does is it has a separate area for page level JavaScript. And in that area, it'll tell you if your JavaScript statement is accurate or not. So that's something to look forward to in the future as well.
If you are new to iFormBuilder, so we do have a very comprehensive knowledge base where you can find almost every aspect of the platform and a lot of solutions for JavaScript. You can just type in the keywords in the searching bar and it will point you to the articles you want. If you have a problem finding them, please reach out to us and we'll point you to the correct ones. Oops. Yeah, so this is our knowledge base. You can find this link on our website. And so Barry, that's pretty much what I have. Hand it back to you.
All right, so if we could just go back to those slides that you had open, Penny. One of the links that we had is the JavaScript tips and tricks. I always urge people to go check that out if they're new to form building. That's just one section of the knowledge base that we have, but that will give you a great idea of different JavaScript calls that other organizations have worked on, or even our internal team, what we've developed to create a custom workflow within the form itself. And as Penny mentioned earlier, with W3 Schools, I think everyone on the Zerion Software iFormBuilder team uses that a lot when testing out or looking for certain JavaScript statements. So if you're brand new to learning JavaScript, definitely go check that out. They have some great tutorials to try to get you started. If we could go to the next slide, Penny, for those of you who are new or relatively new to iFormBuilder, we have a great set of resources and support area for you. So we have our Customer Success Center, which Penny was showing you in just in the past couple of minutes. But in the Customer Success Center, we also have our release notes, and I would urge you to go check those out, and you can actually follow that conversation so that every time new releases are coming, you'll receive an email letting you know what that release is and when it will affect your project in a good way. We also have iFormBuilder training, so if you're interested in scheduling on-site or online training, we do have that available, and we'd be happy to talk through what that looks like. We then have a community forum section, so iFormBuilder and Zerion software is completely driven by our community and what is needed for our users to be successful. So we have one particular community discussion that I would urge you to go check out, which is add and vote for new ideas. In there, you'll see what other like-minded individuals are looking for within the platform, and you'll also see what has gotten to the top of the list and we've actually implemented into the platform because it was such a need for our customers, and it did get a lot of upvotes in that community discussion. We offer project services, so if you're looking for support in building out your projects, if you want us to build custom workflows, we're happy to do that for you, and we can talk through what that would look like. And then the next one here is the live webinars. Well, you're attending today, so clearly you are aware that those are available for your support. And the Form Builder certification, we did mention that at the start of the session, and I actually see that we have some individuals on today's call who also already went through that certification. So it's great to see some of you returning and still learning. That's awesome. And then the last thing here is we do have the iFormBuilder ebooks, and so these ebooks are created to help individuals in different verticals or organizations in different verticals or who have different roles and projects, just to help you become more successful and to learn from other customers as well. And then just a little note on our last slide here. If we can go to that, Penny. I just want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy days to join Penny and I today. For some of you, it's early in the morning, while others of you, it's late at night. And so it means a lot to us that you're able to see the value in always learning about new things coming with iFormBuilder, no matter the hour. So thank you very much for your time. All right. So Penny, I think I will also want to give you a big thank you for taking time out of your schedule and doing this webinar with me. I think your examples were great today, and I think hopefully everyone found them very valuable. And I know I learned something new, so thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And again, everyone, thank you and have a wonderful day or evening.